Tonight, as evacuations went into place for the Greenwood fire, one business owner had a big task: evacuate 100 dogs, and the community was there to help. Plus, within the next hour, Duluth School Board will decide whether masks will be required this school year. And in Michigan, the governor wants to spend $75 million to reduce crime in the state. How she plans to accomplish that.
From CBS3 Duluth, this is the CBS3 News at 6.
Smoke is billowing over the Superior National Forest as the fast-moving Greenwood fire continues to spread. It's burning 2,000 acres 15 miles southwest of Isabella. The aerial firefight is in full swing as crews work to contain it on the ground. Good evening, I'm Kristen Bakke. Thanks for joining us. As the Greenwood fire rages to our north and continues to grow, so does concern for nearby residents. The fire was first detected Sunday. It's now burning 2,000 acres and forcing significant closures in and around the Superior National Forest. County Highway 2 remains closed today from Forest Highway 11 to Highway 1. State Highway 1 is also closed from New Tomahawk Road to Lankinen Road. Starting today, some closures are in place across the forest and boundary waters. This includes all lands, waters, trails, portages, canoe routes, wilderness entry points, and recreation sites as shown on this map. And with those closures comes evacuations for some residents in the at-risk zone. The Forest Service says evacuations are in effect for McDougal Lake, Sand Lake, the County Highway 2 corridor, and just north of Highway 1. The Lake County Sheriff visited 75 homes in the area and either notified residents of the evacuation or left a notice. Forest officials say the dry, windy conditions have led to active fire growth, making them hard to put out.
Our firefighters on the forest and throughout the state with our other agency partners have been in a firefighting mode since early spring. And so just like all the firefighters across the country right now are extremely tired and still have a long season ahead of them.
The American Red Cross Northern Minnesota chapter is opening a temporary evacuation point to house people displaced by the fire. That's at the Finland Community Center on Kramer Road. When the Greenwood fire triggered evacuation orders, people had a matter of hours to make preparations and leave their homes. That's a big task to do alone. CBS3's Kendall Jarbo shares how one local business put out a call for help and the entire community answered.
The Greenwood fire is putting the lives of people and animals at risk. White Wilderness Sled Dog Adventures in Isabella has 100 sled dogs to look after.
The fire was supposed to be heading east, and then the sheriff showed up and said it switched directions, and we needed to get out of there.
With the fire just 3 miles from their home, kennel owner Peter McClelland put out a call for help.
I started a big text chain with all the mushers in the area, telling them what was up.
The mushing community answered the call. 10 groups showed up Monday to help move the dogs to safety.
We're all good friends. Even if we're not in an emergency situation, everyone's good friends anyhow and takes care of each other.
Half of McClelland's pack is at his property in Ely. The rest currently in the care of other kennels. Right now, they're working on giving the dogs more comfortable accommodations. They don't know if they'll be here for days or weeks. The dog's safety, everyone's first concern, regardless of who they belong to.
If we did have a fire coming for here, I know we would have people ready to help nearby, and it just makes it a good feeling.
You know, we're competitors in business, but, you know, when it comes to the dogs, they're always the most important thing for all mushers.
Employees with White Wilderness Sled Dog Adventures say overall the dogs are doing very well. We don't know how long the evacuation order will remain in place. The extreme fire danger in the region has Duluth fire officials asking everyone to be extra cautious. Fires are banned in the northern part of St. Louis County, but not the southern part. Deputy Chief John Otis says the fire department is not issuing burn permits right now. People are allowed to have recreational fires, but only in approved containers like a fire ring. Otis recommends not lighting a fire, but if you have to, take precautions.
Make sure you have a way of extinguishing it, make sure it's always attended, and then make sure to remember that that fire is not out until it is cold and there's no smoke.
Otis says firefighting resources in the region are stretched thin right now. He's asking people to be extra careful so they don't contribute to the problem by accidentally starting a fire. Well, Peter is here for a first check of the weather. Peter, the weather certainly is not helping us out with this fire danger.
Yeah, you know, the weather over the past few months is just kind of bad when it comes to fire weather issues. And there's no doubt behind that. Look at the current drought situation across most of the state. When you see that exceptional drought, that is unprecedented territory for the state of Minnesota. Minnesota never seeing that level of drought before. And the rest of us either looking at severe to extreme drought. Northwest Wisconsin, they're faring a little bit better with only abnormally dry conditions there. But I expect as we head towards the new drought monitor coming out on Thursday, I think more of us are going to end up in that exceptional drought territory, unfortunately. High temperatures for today, also very dry and warm. Temperatures climbing to 96 in Bemidji, 92 in International Falls, 87 on top of the hill, 90 down by the lake. 89 in Superior, as well as 87 degrees in Ashland. And also we see that southerly wind in place that is blowing the smoke from the Greenwood fire up north. And that is why we see the air quality warning in place for northern portions of Lake and Cook County until at least Friday afternoon. I think we're looking at another few dry days ahead of us with some more heat. I'll break that down coming up in just a bit. Kristen?
All right, thank you, Peter. Murder charges have been filed in the death of Richard Balsamo. He's the St. Paul man whose body was found dismembered and dumped in Lake Superior. 35-year-old Jacob Johnson has been charged with second-degree murder. He's currently being held in the Douglas County Jail on other charges. According to the criminal complaint, Johnson and Balsamo drove down to the Twin Cities together. There were two other people in the car, and court documents say Balsamo was threatening them with a knife when Johnson shot him multiple times. Johnson enlisted the help of two friends to take Balsamo's body to an RV in Douglas County, dismember it, and put it in large buckets. One of the friends dumped the buckets in the lake near Grand Portage. Police say Tommy Heinz and Robert West helped Johnson. They've already been charged with being an accomplice to a murder and concealing a body. Minnesota prosecutors are asking a judge to keep the names of the jurors who convicted Derek Chauvin private. Prosecutors asked a judge to reject a request by media outlets to unseal the names. Those jurors convicted the ex-Minneapolis police officer of murder in the death of George Floyd. Judge Peter Cahill had ordered earlier the jurors' identities be kept secret for at least 180 days. Prosecutors say releasing their names now could subject them to harassment and make it harder to seat a jury for the trial of three co-defendants. Minnesota schools will soon have local control to design COVID-19 testing programs that meet the needs of students and staff. The Minnesota Department of Health and Education announced new no-fee COVID testing options for schools statewide. Health leaders say this year schools will have access to individual PCR tests and rapid tests. All districts will be able to assess which test works best for their school. Offering testing in schools is strongly recommended by state health leaders given the rise in Delta variant cases. It's recommended all unvaccinated students and staff get tested at least weekly during the school year. The MDE will also provide grants to support testing in schools. For more information on the testing program, you can head to our website. The Duluth School Board will make its decision on mask requirements tonight. Students and staff are currently required to mask up when in school buildings. The board will decide whether to extend that rule into the start of the school year. The meeting starts in about 20 minutes at 6:30. The Superior School Board voted last night to require masks during the upcoming school year. The requirement will apply to elementary-aged students. Older students who are eligible for the vaccine will not be required to mask up. All students will have to wear masks on the bus following a federal mandate. Board members say their priority is to keep students learning in person. Michigan's governor wants to spend $75 million in pandemic relief funds to reduce crime in the state. Governor Gretchen Whitmer's plan comes as several cities have seen double-digit percentage increases in violent crime. Her proposal would provide funding to hire more officers focused on recruiting people to work where they live.
We've put Michigan families first, and we will continue to work with anyone who wants to work on this problem so that we can serve everyone in the state. If we work together, we can have safer communities and less crime.
Governor Whitmer also wants to fund job and education opportunities so people don't turn to crime in the first place. Expanded scholarships would also focus on diversity. The Michigan legislature has to approve her plan. After a rebound in travel this summer, people are once again canceling plans for trips because of the surging number of COVID cases. In a recent survey, 27% of respondents said they postponed a trip, and more than 54% said the Delta variant has made them less interested in traveling right now. An economist with the travel app Hopper says summer flight demand has flattened from pandemic highs, which is leading to lower prices. His service claims there has been a 33% increase in people buying tickets they can cancel.
People want to have that option to cancel if for any reason, something happens, the situation develops in a way where they can't take that trip.
In June and July, domestic air cancellations were above their 1% average, which translates to 10,000 cancellations in July alone. Still to come on Live Local CBS 3, some big changes could be on the way to Duluth's Harbor Drive. How you can help make that decision next.
And we're looking at a warm Tuesday evening out there with Park Point coming in at 88 degrees right now with yet more heat on the way. I'll break down that extended forecast in just a bit.
CBS News Sunday Morning with Jane Pauley on CBS.
Flying from the big city can be stressful with traffic, parking fees, busy concourses, and security lines, and that long drive home. At Range Regional Airport, we take the stress out of flying. We're close to home with free parking, short lines, comfortable lounge, and quick access through security. Take the stress out of flying. Fly Range Regional Airport, Hibbing.
Be smart. Be active. Be confident. Vision Pro Optical is here for you, specializing in eye exams, glasses, contacts, and billing your insurance. Serving the Northland for more than 30 years with you as our focus. Visit visionprooptical.com for hours and location details. Vision Pro Optical. Be and be seen.
The 130th Carlton County Fair is August 19th through the 22nd in Barnum. Check out free laser tag and reptiles all 4 days. Thursday is 4-H Day and tractor pull. Friday is Senior Citizen Day, the dairy show, and oval races. Saturday is Military Day, 4-H horse show, horse racing, and the demo derby. Sunday has horse racing and figure 8 races. Enjoy free entertainment on the grounds every day. Check CarltonCountyFairMN.com for a complete schedule. Let's get back to the fun in 2021 with the Carlton County Fair, August 19th through the 22nd.
Important healthcare announcement. If people tell you your TV is too loud, or if listening in some environments has become difficult, we are requesting your participation in a special program called the 30-Day Challenge. Hearing Life Hearing Centers are seeking people with hearing difficulties to evaluate a new digital mini hearing aid now being released. To take part in this event, you must call. Please get a pencil and write down the number below. All people with hearing aids or hearing difficulties are wanted to take part in the 30-Day Challenge, evaluating a new high-tech device that sits discreetly behind your ear. This hearing aid is Bluetooth enabled and is rechargeable. All hearing assessments are performed at no charge for those taking part in the challenge. Participants will try these hearing aids for 30 days. Call the number below and take the Hearing Life 30-Day Challenge.
I'm leaving the studio and hitting the road. Okay, so what do we got, gang? To help real families.
Why are you not on Dad's side? I am on Dad's side.
With real problems.
I don't want to be in his marriage.
I'm making house calls. May I come in?
Oh.
Dr. Phil.
Oh, my God. Sometimes it just feels like it's fake.
Ask the questions. Why did you do that?
We need to mend this.
The past is over. The only time is now.
Get your news on the go. The CBS3 mobile app. CBS3 weather is brought to you by St. Luke's.
Another warm one in the Twin Ports with temperatures climbing to 87 degrees. Definitely 11 degrees above average high for now, up to 76. Not quite record-breaking for us, but it was record-breaking for those in International Falls, where they made it to 92 degrees and broke a new daily record. The old record of 90 degrees set way back in 1906. This also officially made it a heat wave for them because they have seen 3 consecutive days of 90-degree-plus weather. And it looks like they might get to 90 over the next few days as well, for at least the next 2 days. And if right now in Duluth, we're looking at 85 degrees, partly cloudy skies, and you can definitely see those hazy conditions out there from the live cam as well. And that breezy southwest wind in place between 10 and 15 miles per hour, at times even gusting up to 25, which is not helping with the fire situation. And temperatures across the region, it is a warm Tuesday evening for most of us out there, with temperatures in the mid and upper 80s closer to the lake, except for the way up the North Shore towards Grand Marais. Temperatures coming in the 70s there. Out west in central and western Minnesota, looking at temperatures in the 90s still for most of them. Also, you're probably beginning to notice that humidity as well, with most of us talking about dew points in the mid and upper 60s, as dew points slowly begin to creep to that 70-degree mark. And I'm actually beginning to see the 70-degree mark. To take a look at Hinckley right now, coming with a dew point of 70 degrees. That's when you really begin to notice and feel that humidity. And you'll probably notice that and feel it over the next few days as well. And you'll also notice and feel that heat as it continues into another 1 or 2 days. For tomorrow, we're looking at temperatures in the 90s again for most of us, except closer to the lake where we see temperatures in the 80s. I think most of us will be into the 80s closer to the lake, maybe even some 90s closer to the lake tomorrow. And I think Thursday's kind of a sure bet where most of us get to that 90-degree mark, except for the far northern portions of the North Shore, where we still have a little bit of a lake breeze in place. That heat lasts through the day on Friday, but we begin to see some relief as we head towards Friday night. That's when we begin to see a system work its way into the region that may produce a little bit of rain. But we're dry for the next few days as well. Tomorrow, once again, mostly sunny skies overhead. I think we're also a little bit less hazy, which is good news. And that dry weather lasts through Thursday into Thursday night as well. Our next rain shot comes for the day on Friday, especially Friday night into the day Saturday morning. I think so. This is how we're shaping up. I don't take this with a grain of salt right now. Positioning and timing can change over the next few days, but we could be looking at a few storms Friday night into Saturday and over the next few days. But we clear things out for Saturday afternoon into Sunday, and here's how the next 7 days shape up. Right now, we're looking good through Friday, but hot. Then by the time the weekend rolls around, we're back into the 70s, Kristen.
Thank you, Peter. The city wants your feedback on a big project that would transform the Duluth waterfront. Duluth Parks and Rec set up a tent behind the deck, sharing their ideas for renovating Harbor Plaza. The deck says the space is underutilized and could better serve the city and its residents. The city is open to people's ideas. Parks and Rec officials say they hope the project can revitalize the waterfront.
So really this project looks at making improvements to the seawall, the infrastructure here, and making it more resilient for the future, in addition to creating a more attractive space for residents of Duluth and for visitors alike.
The department plans to host one more virtual feedback session on Thursday before finalizing their plans. A local group is celebrating a big step forward in housing the homeless. Birchwood Apartments held a ribbon-cutting ceremony today. The development will include 30 units for homeless single adults who struggle with behavioral health issues. After more than 3 years of planning, development, and construction, the complex is finally finished and ready for residents to move in. Center City Housing says their goal is to provide residents with a sense of normalcy.
So I think that if you live here, it will be pretty much like living in any other apartment, but we will have staff available to help and support if you need that.
The apartments plan to begin accepting residents next week. Alexis is here with us tonight for a look at what's going on in sports. Hey.
Yeah, well, it's 'tis the season for fall sports. And in Bulldog country, the dominant Bulldogs of the women's volleyball team are back and ready to get down to business. Plus, a Northland QB has one mindset that'll be sure to bring a smile to your face. iReal in Sports next.
Every day during your birthday month, you can receive up to $30 in club cash.
CBS3 Live Cams, brought to you by KohlerChev.com, now featuring the Kohler Express Deal online buying solution. KohlerChev.com, a better way to buy.
Culligan, our water makes my skin and hair feel like I'm 90.
How do you feel about high-efficiency water softeners from Culligan Water?
What?
How do you feel about smoother skin and luxurious hair?
I feel very good about that.
That's the power of water.
What does home mean to you? From graduation to the new job to sharing a life with someone else. As you change, so does your idea of home. Visit yournorthlandhome.com for comprehensive information on buying and selling your home with JS Realty, including mistakes buyers make and preparing your home to sell. Yournorthlandhome.com has the information you need to find a place that feels like home. Download your free guide today at yournorthlandhome.com.
I'm Dr. Matthew Penning. I'm a family physician at St. Luke's. I like to try and empower the patients to take control of their own health care. Doctors may give advice, but it's really the choices of the patients that determine the outcomes of their health care. So I think it's really important that we speak in a way that patients understand and can get information. I chose to practice at St. Luke's because it seems more like a family environment. The atmosphere at Mariner is great, so I love it here.
Yay! Here you go, sweetheart.
It's your first savings account.
A savings account? Imagine the possibilities.
Oh, no.
But I really wanted a basketball.
You may dribble me.
Imagining a bright future? Let's see how we can help. National Bank of Commerce. We make more possible.
When we ask you to shop Prime Appliance, we want you to experience a real appliance store where we have hundreds of brand name appliances always ready to go during our in-stock sale. Get the right size GE refrigerator to fit your space. In stock now. A 16 cubic foot for just $688, a 19 cubic foot for just $798, or this 22 cubic foot for just $898. Financing and delivery always available. Prime Appliance, it's a real appliance store and the best place to buy your appliances. Let us prove it to you.
When you watch CBS3, you get up-to-date team coverage. Online, on your phone, and on the air.
6 o'clock this evening as we enter the overnight.
Right down to your neighborhood. For local weather coverage you can trust, tune to CBS3. Kristen Baki is as local as our evening news.
I'm from here. This is my home. I learned how to do a left-handed layup right there. At that hoop, that exact hoop.
Covering the communities she calls home too.
You know, there's nothing phony about it. That's who she is. She's just a natural at it, so I enjoy watching her because she's so good at what she does.
Leaders at Hibbing Taconite are scrambling. Menorca mining, family heritage, and iron mining history.
For everything local, watch Kristen Baki on Live Local CBS3.
For fall sports, the headline of each of their narratives has been about making their big return after a 2-year hiatus. And for UMD volleyball, their storyline is no different. Today marks day 2 of preseason practice for the Bulldogs in 2 years. Head coach Jim Booz and his squad find themselves sitting at second in the NSIC preseason rankings and arguably the most competitive Division II volleyball conference across the country. Fifth-year senior in 2019 kill leader Kate Berg also returns after a 10-month recovery due to injury, alongside her winningest coach in program history with his 19th year. The 8 players who have yet to experience a collegiate game day, Booz is ready to continue leading his pack back to the top, no matter how young or how windy the learning curve may be. He says the expectation in Romano Gym remains the same.
Just excited to learn and listen and give effort, and so that's what really excites me about this group, the potential that it has. I think it's going to take some time to really train, learn, and grow. So the team that we see that starts early in September is not going to be the team we see later on in November as the season progresses.
The Bulldogs have chosen to keep preseason competition local due to the COVID unknowns. Booz also adds that they have adopted the mentality of starting 0-0 and understand that it will be a battle as they will need to earn every opportunity in order to win the NSIC as well as a chance to be back in the NCAA playoffs. Their road in the NSIC opens up at home against Wayne State on Friday, September 17th. While Two Harbors has welcomed in some fresh faces from Duluth Marshall for their upcoming football season, the Agates' core of starters will largely remain the same. The Agates only graduated 4 seniors from 2020 and will be reloading with a big group of seniors this year. Two Harbors doesn't keep any secrets about what their plan for the season is. They're going to line you up in between the hash marks and try to run people over. And they're bigger, faster, and more experienced than they were a year ago.
We feel really good about this group that we have. They're, strong senior leadership. They're very hard workers. They're unselfish kids, and they're just fun to coach.
I mean, I'm excited. We've all been working hard. We've been in the weight room for a long time. This group of seniors, we've all been playing together since like 6th grade. So this is like finally our year type of deal. So it's exciting,
Two Harbors is returning their entire offensive line and quarterback Clark Nelson, who took the majority of their snaps under center as a junior last season.
Part of the reason that Clark got moved to quarterback was he's a big body kid. He can run a little bit. He's got some decent speed, but he likes to run people over.
A lot of kids might not like that, but I think that's probably the most fun way to play football. Just go out there and pound kids.
You like that?
I like that a lot. It makes me happy. It makes me smile.
And we just thought, boy, how can we utilize his talents? He's gotten more efficient at throwing the ball, and we will throw. I mean, we always joke about different things about running the ball so much, and we'll continue to run the ball. We just believe in it. But we'll throw it. We'll throw it when we can. We'll throw it when the opportunity is there, and Clark can definitely do that.
The Agates open on Friday, September 3rd at Barnum. I mean, surely something to smile about, Kristen. That was just, I've never seen a mentality like that. Being an athlete, I mean, we were both athletes ourselves. I don't think I could say, hey, Kristen, let's run some people over.
Well, and quarterback, too, right?
Yes. Well, apparently this program is known to run the ball.
Okay,
so that's what he's referring to.
That makes sense. Well, look, watch out for Clark if you're on the field.
Yes, and when we come back tonight, we'll also be hearing from super senior Kate Berg about her experiences at UMD coming back.
Sounds good. Thank you, Alexis. Well, tonight on the CBS3 News at 10, as summer comes to an end, many parents are wondering what their child's school year will look like. To mask or not to mask? That is the big question. We'll have the latest from the Duluth School Board meeting tonight at 10. All right, Peter, it is toasty warm out there. Is that sticking around?
Yeah, it's hard to believe we're talking about football just around the corner because it is sticking around for the next few days. But as we creep towards the weekend, maybe signs of fall in the air with temperatures in the 70s and morning lows in the 50s. But before we get there, we're talking about the 90s for at least Wednesday and Thursday. And our next rain shot comes Friday night into Saturday. Kristen?
All right. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you at 10.